name's Ivan Alexander. I'm a landscaper by trade. And yeah, this is my Haines Hunter 565F. Complete rebuild. And yeah, this is it. It's cost a little bit of money, to say the least. What do you want me to say? She's insured for $170,000. My favourite things about the boat, honestly, it's pretty simple. The colour, I absolutely love the colour. It's an original Haines colour, being Arctic blue. We went with the original gel coat. I'm so stoked with it. It's come out really nice and it's quite timeless. I feel relieved. I'm excited to be able to get out into the water and go fishing. It's been a fairly long haul, refusing to go fishing with a lot of people, saving my money to spend it on this thing. Yeah, I'm just amped up, really keen to catch some fish, go out and smash it. What haven't I done? So, I mean, we'll start here. We can see we've got a little splash lip, we like to call it, just to stop any of the sort of waves or any splash that comes up aboard. There's a bit of wind. Helps me put the nav light here, which stops me bolting anything to the top deck, which is all original. Rebuilt the console myself, which was gel coated by Hunter Boat Repairs. They did a phenomenal job, the whole boat as well. Wasn't a whole lot done to the top deck, just some stainless bling, and then we did a casting deck to it, new console, new configuration for the rear, the transom setup, new live bait tank, the gel coating process. So we went with the original gel coat, which was Arctic blue, so it's off the factory. In case I get any damage or bill wax or anything like that, we can sort of patch it up as well as we can. We've got a plain, simple anchor well. There's no electric anchor or electric winch, it's just some anchor, standard. I run a bungee off the front of the boat catch there. Then we've got casting deck. There's 3 compartments in the front. The front 3 compartments are quite big. You could fit a fair bit in there. Moving towards the console, we've got the esky. It runs from port to starboard. I haven't measured how many litres it is, but it's quite big. We've put 9 bags of ice in and it's given us about halfway full. Then we've gone to the console, which I built myself. It's got 10mm toughened glass rather than Perspex, a lot more longevity, and I know it's heavy, but it's super solid. Heaps of storage on the inside of the console. I've got my autopilot pump, S50-100, all my wiring, pie oven, some other bits and pieces, and I use it for storage as well. And then going under that console, we've got 3 batteries. Then moving back from that, it's pretty straightforward. We've just got raised transom area, which sort of follows through to the live bait tank, and the live bait tank's in the middle, which is raised even higher, just in case you cop a really big greenie over the back. There's heaps of freeboard tuna tubes in the port and starboard compartments, and inside those there's manifolds with adjustable flows, so I can run all the tuna tubes at the same time. And yeah, they're running off a 3800 GPH pump each side. So yeah, the leaning post, it's a bit of a funny design. Like, it sort of looks like one of those bollards you'd use for landscaping. But it's actually really comfortable, and it's more of a grabbing post. So seeing as we raise the deck, we thought we'd have to put something there to at least to hold on to, especially if you're in a bit of a slop. It's not so much to lean against, just something to grab onto when you're out there in the rough. Other than that, the casting deck's quite nice. It's really spacious, there's heaps of storage underneath it. Yeah, it's just really easy to fish out of. Aesthetically, the boat turned out as good as I wanted it to. There's not really much more I could have done to make it look any better, I don't think, which is an imperative factor to the build of the Haines. Yeah, it sits really good, it rides really well, it sits nose down, enough for me to sort of have a bit of fun in the chop, which is what I like to do, as you've seen. 3 batteries are sitting under the console, which sort of centers the weight quite well. I've got quite a big fuel tank, it's just about 300 litres, which runs from just in front of the esky toward as far back as it goes, which is just in front of the live bait tank essentially. Bit of love for Simrad. How much love can I give? I mean, Simrad's just the best in the business, really, for me anyway. Super user friendly. We've got 3 Simrad NSS 12 Evo 3S. One on the casting deck, 2 in the consoles. The console's wide enough to fit the 2. I've calibrated my sounders pretty well. It helps with the S50-100. I get a real clear reading, and I get a clear reading at quite a high speed, probably around 20 knots, 25 knots, depending on the swell conditions. So I've got a PM275 low, high, wide, AMR. So it goes, I've got a plank on this boat and it fits right in the middle of the plank. I've probably got 6 mil either side of the plank. The autopilot works a treat. I can sort of set a track, especially if I'm fighting a fish. I can just, if I want to go down current, I can set a track down current and fight the fish if I'm solo. And I mean, Simrad's really so user-friendly and yeah, just the best in the business if you ask me.
Yeah, so just ate a fillet of yellowtail, fresh yellowtail that we just caught earlier this morning on the float with a spool we dropped down in sinker size. And I just had it free spooling and I saw it about half the spool left. I thought it's a bit too much line out and locked it up and got him. It's a decent fish, probably like 3.5 kilos, maybe like touching close to 70 centimeters. I would like to release him, but he's absolutely annihilated that hook. And he's already been bleeding as soon as we got him, so I don't think he's going to release very well. And yeah, first decent one of the morning. We'll see if we can get an upgrade.
I designed that one with a mate when I was in senior school. Other side. The big 6. I went the Merc, mainly it was weight savings. So I wanted something quite light and I wanted the extra cylinders. And I felt like Merc, they had a light outboard, 8 cylinders to take load and a shitload of torque. And who doesn't love torque? The cruise speed's probably about 30 knots, 35 knots, around there. It's pretty quick for most people, but it just seems to be where it likes to ride. The 4-blade, a lot more traction, especially in the chop. As you guys have probably seen me cutting in and around the wash. A lot more stern lift and a lot more control. So yeah, Benny and Timmy at Johnson Brothers Marine, they did an outstanding job. Tim's attention to detail is just phenomenal. Same goes for Hunter Boat Repairs, who did all my fabrication work, all this lip and the casting deck and all other sorts of bits and pieces, and the gel coat in particular, which just came out immaculate. But yeah, Johnson Brothers. Just take your boat to Johnson Brothers. If you don't want hassles, that's where you're gonna go. Time, yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah, just on 2.5 years from the time that I bought it to getting it pretty much finished on the water. Advice for anyone doing a rebuild is don't skimp out and don't be pressed for time. You don't want a boat that you're going to put on the water and it's going to have problems. You want to do something that's built to spec, super solid, and just what you want. I might be biased, but I don't think you can beat it.